Good afternoon everybody, how are you all? Thank you for joining me again. It's nice to see you all. I hope you've had a great day, whatever you've been doing. So we only have one left after today. How sad is that? I just wanted to let you know that I have thoroughly enjoyed doing this. It's helped me learn things, and I know a lot of you have been commenting saying you've absolutely loved it and you've been waiting each day for the next endorsement of the 12 days of Christmas. So thank you very much if you have stayed and tuned in. Always remember though, the videos never go away and will always be housed on YouTube, so you can always go back, revisit, rewind, pause, fast forward through the bits you don't like and just enjoy them. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Toni Derrick and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and I just love to do anything crafty. And I have a New Year's resolution which I'm going to tell you all about tomorrow, and I'm hoping to learn something new. So if you have a New Year's resolution, please do let me know, and I'm interested to see what everybody's going to do next year. It might not be something crafty, but it might be that you're going to stop eating chocolate, or you're going to make sure you're in bed for 10 o'clock, one of those things. But whatever it is, we try and stick by it, don't we? So if you are watching on Facebook, don't forget to comment. We always give away our makes, so I will be giving away the makes that I made today. So if you pop a comment below, you get to be in with a chance to try and win one of those. And if you are on YouTube, always remember to click the subscribe button. This will give you notifications when I'm on, and it will also build up our audience to do new things, create new things, and just keep going. So inspiration galore, should we say. So in today's studio, we're going to be using a couple of things that I may have used before in the past, and some things you may already have in your stash, or some things that you might be able to use as an alternative. So we're going to be using these things here. So we have the two foliage ones. We launched these a couple of weeks ago. So you might have some flower dies or stamps or something like that, but it's the foliage and the flower pieces that we're trying to do. I'm going to be using this stamp set, which I know a lot of you have already got. So a large sentiment, and we're going to be using the abstract strips on this one, and this one here is the one I'm going to be using. Now you can see what today's demo is going to be about. It's ink worth talking about in the bottles, you can see from my fingers, but I've had a fabulous hour or so doing a little bit of prep for today's studio. So what we're going to do is, I have just a piece of white cardstock in my Eureka here. Just move that into shot for you. And I have the textured strip, which is the large one. Now this is an A5 stamp set, so you can see there, it's this one here. So it's huge, and these create beautiful backgrounds, but we're going to use it a little bit different today, because I know a lot of you have probably already got this one. So we're going to do two cards today, same technique, two different colours. I've done a little bit of the other one ahead of time to get ahead. So all I'm going to do is, I'm just going to stamp this out in lines down this piece of white cardstock, and I'm using a water-based ink because it's going to get spritzed. So on my other one I used Vintage Photo, and on this one I'm going to use Black Soot. So I'm just going to ink this one up. Just move all these dies out of the way. I'm just going to ink this one up in Black Soot and stamp it out. And I'm going to create a bit of a pattern, just a random pattern, no formation in any sense, but just a random pattern. And every time I take it off the door, I'm going to turn it a different way, so I get a different pattern each time. So it's not uniform, should we say. So these are the Tim Holtz ones. These are water-based and they react with water. So you might have some other ones in your stash that react with water. So just check what they say on them, and you'll be able to do this technique with this. So I'm just going to turn that one round. Maybe do it a bit closer this time so it doesn't look formal. So I'm just going to go all the way down the page. So whilst I am doing this, I've got some news to tell you. I am on Create and Craft Christmas Day at 2 p.m. and there's something launching new on there. So if you're sat at home and had your Christmas dinner or waiting for family to arrive or anything, you can record it also, obviously. But yeah, I'm on Create and Craft at 2 p.m. for an hour, which is lovely really, and I probably will have had my Christmas pudding by that point and probably be watching, which will be a little bit bizarre to watch myself on TV when it's live, should we say. So I'm just going to move these up here, keep going. And another thing I just wanted to highlight is I have had a lot of Christmas cards. Now, I'm sorry if I haven't thanked you in person. I have had a lot. I've tried my best to get round everybody. So here I am now saying thank you so much for your cards. My son and myself, and Tim included, have enjoyed opening them, reading them, looking at the beautiful work on there. A lot of you have sent cards using my products, which is fabulous. So thank you very, very much. It is very much appreciated, and they are all at home on my half there looking at me. So thank you everybody. So last one across the bottom here, just to finish it. There we go. So just move this out of the way. So in that set, you get like tyre tracks and like a wood grain effect in there as well. So you could use this idea over the course of all 4 of those stamps. But you might have some stamps in your stash that have a distressed background. So have a hunt around. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this with a little bit of water and just get it to react a little bit. Not too much. I don't want it to turn into an awful muddy mess. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to dry it. And this will create our lovely background ready for our foliage. So there you have like a instant distressed background, you see there? So let's just move this out of the way for now. Right, so what I'm going to show you is a lovely little technique that I learnt off the lovely Claire from Thirsty Brush. So as you can see there, we've got our lovely 2 backgrounds. So I did one in brown. There is no right or wrong way, by the way. I'm just picking what I think looks the best. So we'll go this way and this way. So I am going to do a bit of foiling. Now you don't need a foiling machine, you don't need anything spectacular. You just need an inexpensive glue stick. This is just from the local pound shop, and you just need a bit of foil, and it can be hot or cold press foil, it doesn't matter. So have a look in your stash and see what you've got. So let's just go with this one first. So all you do is you get your glue stick, and I mean you can do really chunky lines if you want to, or you can do thin ones, and I'm just going to do some thin ones from the side. I'm not going to go heavy with it because it'll ruin my work when I come to place my foliage on. Then I'm just going from the sides. So we'll just go with that little bit first, and we'll see how we get on. So I'm just going to work from this side first. I'm just going to pop this foil on like so, and then I'm just going to rub it on with my finger into where I've just put that glue stick. You could use a score tool to burnish it on there if you wanted to. And then when you peel it off, you see how you get the lovely foiling on there. Let's just do this side. It just gives instant dimension to the back of your card with little to no effort really, and I love it. And I had no idea you could do this until Claire did it on air on TV. See there? How awesome is that? See if it shows on here. There we go, look. So instant dimension on the back of your card. Now I am going to do it on with the same colour on the black one as well. So just going to get the glue stick. I'm just going to do it from the sides, not a lot. Could do a line down if you wanted to. Edge it all the way around with your gold. So I'll do this side first. Which side have I done? This side. Pop the foil on. Rub it out. Then we'll do the other side. So just random strokes. And just make sure I've got it all covered. So I'm just going to I've picked up all that glue. This looks like an expensive piece of cardstock now, doesn't it? How cool is that? So we've got like a brown one and a black one. So what we're going to do now is just set those aside. So I have my snap plates. We're just going to do a bit of die cutting using the foliage. So I'm just going to pop the cardstock on here. Now I have got all my die cut elements out. I'm just going to place them randomly on here, and I'm going to, even though I'm not going to probably use them all, I'm going to pop them on there, because if I'm doing one pass I may as well pass a few through there at once. Now if you're not the most confident die cutter, make sure you tape them down so they don't move. I'm just going to go with that one. I'm just going to run it through the snap. So I have all my random shapes in there like so. So I'll just set this aside. And then what we're going to do is we are going to create some colour for our amazing backgrounds. Just put the lid on this. And we're going to be using these two colours here. Well, I've used 03 from the Gossip ink and 02. So I've done some 03s ahead of time, so I'm just going to do some 02s. So all I did, took the cork out of the top, and I used my pipette, and I'll just pipette a little bit out onto my mat. That's the side. And I sprayed with a little bit of water, not much, and then I just popped the random pieces out, and I put it in the ink. I moved it to one side, and I repeated this process over the course of all the elements. And if I had white pieces it was okay, because I love anything to do with light and shade, and white spaces gives instant light and shade. So I'm just popping all the elements out. And the colour, this one is 02. It's a beautiful colour. And I just kept going until I'd done all the pieces. So I'll just set this aside. And when I did them like that, I thought, well, they're amazing and I love the colour. They look a little bit flat though, so I'm just going to add some depth and some dimension myself. Just clean my mucky paws. So what I did was I just got my pipette and I just picked up some of the colour as it is and just dropped it on random. And what this happens is when it dries back, it leaves like a coffee stain mark, which gives your cards instant dimension. So I'm just going to drop it in there random. Like so. Put that back in my bottle, save it. Put the cork on. So where are you watching from today? I love to know where people are watching from. Just clean my hands. And then I'm just going to dry these off with my gun. And you can see there, it's left like a stain. So it's no longer one dimensional, it's two dimensional now. Have some instant flowers. Now there's a couple of things you could do here, and I am just going to show you the variation in ways. So you could leave this as is flat, or you could add detail yourself. So I'm just going to grab a pen, and what I did was I added detail. Just make sure I've got the right pen, or else it just won't work. I added detail myself with a fine liner pen. I'll just see if this will work. So I wanted to add some detail, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line to that point myself in each one, and then go all the way around like so. So you can see there the lines, but I want it to be a little bit doodly, so I put some stitching in, some as if I've stitched it down. You see now? Sorry, there we go. And you can continue the process throughout. And if you did one of these heart ones here, excuse the mucky paws, I just drew a heart with him because it's a heart shape. And I also did a stitch. So it just gave a little bit of a doodle. So it took the plainness out of it. So that is one of the ways you can take the plainness out of it. I have left mine flat, but it's just food for thought if you want to bring dimension to your artwork even further. So I'll just move these aside. So what I always do when I'm arranging, should we say, which is the best part, that one, we'll go with that. So ahead of time I did some brown flowers and I popped some pearls in the centre of that one, and ahead of time I did the blue ones and I popped a black diamante in the centre of that one. So before I go ahead and stick anything in place, I always arrange like so. So I know how my artwork is going to look. And what I also do is I always incorporate white ones, because white gives light, instant light and shade, so it gets rid of some of the blandness of it. Okay, so I've also got the foliage elements, which are white as well. So you can see quickly how this is coming together. So that would be fine. And then we'll pop the blue onto this black one. Right, so I'm just going to push all that off, ruin it, should we say, and put a sentiment on there. So now I've got, in my mind's eye, I know where I'm going to put my sentiment. So the sentiment I'm going to use today is from those large ones you've all seen, which is this one here. And I'm going to use the Enjoy Your Day. Like so. I'm just going to bring this artwork back in. So I'll just go with this one first. Now you must be mindful that if you have foiling, it won't stamp onto your foiling, so avoid any foiling. It might be an idea to stamp your sentiment first and then do your foiling after, so you don't have any blips with regards to getting your sentiment on there. So I am going to bring that down to here. I'm going to stamp this one in pure black, and then what will happen is it will make everything else pop from the page. So just make sure I've got a black ink pad. So I'll stamp this a few times, make it a true black. One more time. Just dry that one. Set that aside and go to our black one. Now you could do it, I'm doing these portrait, you could do them landscape, so you could do it that way and do the creeper out. In fact, let's do that with this one. Let's just go for it, hey? You know, what's the worst that can happen? So we'll do this offset here. So we're absolutely going against the grain here because our lines are down. But that's absolutely fine. It might turn out to be the best card, you never know. Set this aside. So before I mount any flowers, I always mount my card onto my note card. It's really difficult when you've got big flowers on there, isn't it, too? So I'm just going to use tape and glue. So if you're not on our Eureka fan page, I encourage everybody to go and have a look, see what's going on there. The foiling technique is heavily used by the design team, and lots of lovely new crafters now are starting to try it and are absolutely loving it. So don't be scared of it, give it a go. It does really give your artwork some dimension. Like so, and I'm just going to set that under my Eureka so it goes flat. And then with this one we'll do exactly the same. This has got black glitter card, the other one's got like a coffee colour. So give it a good press, make sure it's stuck, watch your mucky paws. Swap this one out for the one underneath here. And then let's go on to, let's get this card made together. So I'm going to be using some pin flare glue gel. And what I'm going to do is I'm now going to start my floral arrangement. So if you feel like you've done them too big and they're hanging off the card, it's not a mistake that it's hung off the card. Have it hung off the card, it looks a bit more arty in my opinion. So let's just see where we're going with this. So I think I'm going to do a creeper around my sentiment, create some dimension. And I'm going to just make sure I lift all these little individual petals up to make sure it's not going to be flat. So play until you're happy. And we have some coloured ones as well, so you can tuck those in. So I'm still not happy, so we'll keep going. As you were told at school, it isn't a race. So you can take your time with it and just enjoy it. This is what it's all about, enjoying it. Then I'm going to pop some white in there as well. And we have it, so I'm going to go for it, let's go. So I'll pop a blob of pin flare behind. Pop that one there. I have popped some little pearls in the centre of these flowers as well, just to give them a little bit of a lift. What I'm going to do is I'm going to offset these two like that, so we'll have a brown one with a little bit of white overlaying. Create two for the price of one. Then obviously within your foliage set you get the skeletal leaves as well, which is awesome, which you pop the parts out. Like so, and then you get like this skeleton one. You don't have to be a flower arranger to do this either. I'm not a flower arranger by any sense, and I'm just going for it. See how that's coming together? It's actually quite nice, isn't it? So the problem I have is knowing when to stop. and this will be my last one. There we go. I'll leave that as is. Move that back out. So there you have that one. You can see the dimension on there. Shall we call this one coffee and cream with the gold foiling on there? So this is card number 1. Now you could add some diamantes round, some sparkle. You can make it sparkly if you want to, but that's card number 1. So we'll go for coffee. We'll call that one coffee and cream. We'll just set this one aside, and we'll go to our black one. So we're going to go with this one as a landscape, just to be a little bit different. And again, you see how that blue just pops from there? It's awesome. So again, I'm just popping them on, placing them. I'm going to go for that. That blue looks really bright, doesn't it? So I'll just pop that down. Like I said, don't forget, if you want to add a pen detail, you can do that as well. That looks just as nice. Get some of our leaves, pop out the centres. Not doing much talking, am I? Sorry, I'm enjoying myself, is that? So, and let's pop a blue one in too. And I'm going to quit while I'm ahead before I spoil it. Do we like that one? So I'll just bring them both in for you. I'll just move this one out of the way. So please let me know which one you like. Which colour would you go for? So it's mainly the background technique that I wanted to show you all. That spritzing with water and adding the foil gives two completely different looks. So you can leave it as a sterile entity, as a sterile stamp, which they are perfect for that also. But adding dimension with water and a little bit of gold foil, it really does take your card to that next level. It's really, really lovely. So I do hope you like this technique, and I do hope you will give it a try. Don't forget to comment. As I say, I always give my makes away. And tomorrow I am back with you at 1 p.m. and it's going to be a long one, I'll tell you now. So if you're available tomorrow at 1 o'clock, put your feet up, get a cup of tea, because it's going to be a long one. It's going to be completely different to anything we've done in studio before. So please join me, and the make that I'm doing, I will give away. There will just be one, and it takes time. So I will see you all tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and I'll take care. See you all later. Bye.